I'm really excited because I have this project done. Do you remember when I created those rainbow pages showing you how you can easily break a blank page? And I made them especially for all the ephemera I got from the make and take at the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. Well, my intention was to take each vendor from the make and take and like dedicate a page to them to kind of show off what we got from the make and take. But apparently that wasn't moving me and inspiring me to get that journal done. So it took journaling club. Yes, I had a second journaling club play date with Nathalie, and I chose to work on this project while I was there. And it took that day and the next day to get it done. But look how fun this book is. So I'm going to take you for a little walk through the book. I'll talk a little bit about some technical aspects, some meaning behind some of the pages. I'll take you on a journey with me. Come on, guys, let's do this. Never be afraid to change your mind. With my intention to fill these pages, each one for only a single vendor, like this one. Remember this video? This was strictly for Scrappy Boy. And I enjoy this page. I think it's really cool. But then it sat. So I had no intention of this turning into the book that it turned into. So I love that this world of art journaling can be full of surprises and discovery. I started with the red and black pages. Remember, I told you don't be afraid of black. The idea of merging the ephemera that I received from the make and take and bringing it together with any of the ephemera available at Journaling Club really stoked the fires for imagination. So I had started with this page here, and I knew that the little beetle bug really matched the colors that I was working with. And working with the hearts, I spotted this at the Journaling Club ephemera. Thank you, Nathalie. And I thought, well, if you're going to have chocolates, I had some leftover ephemera from Crazy Creations, I believe that is. So what goes better with chocolate than maybe some milk or a coffee? So I use these leftover ephemera, the acrylic outlines. And since I went vintage, I grabbed this other vintage lady here. So I had this leftover Be Kind tag from Chalk Couture, Jessica Hine. And it all just fit together. Do the unexpected. Did I mention that this guy was also part of Scrap That New Jersey's Make and Take? I deconstructed that and put that on this page. That's part of it as well. Oh, I love this page. For the red and orange page, I dove into that very first card, that very first make and take, and I dismantled it and put it in here. Cut off the corners of the card. The colors just fit so perfect. And the sending you a bunch of smiles sentiment I used from KNC Essentials Make and Take from their card. You'll see their ephemera scattered through here. And Hill Street Stamps, part of their make and take, had this paper in there, and it worked perfectly. The colors match wonderful, and it helped bind the pages together. I love this idea. I don't know who the artist is for this. I don't know who to give credit to. But with my love of Italy and that kind of watercolor style, I love that picture. Orange and yellow. So here's the bird cage from KNC Essentials. The bird I took from a sticker pack. This cutout is from a recollections pad. More ephemera from the journaling club. And the tags here, the tag came with that starfish. No, the tag, it wasn't a starfish. My star looked like a starfish. But the tag here is from Be Creative, the You're a Star card. And this page too, bright and colorful, playing again with some of the foil at the center there, a napkin in the background, and my tag from my tea bag. Beauty is not caused, it is. Emily Dickinson. Remember guys, this was my favorite background page out of all the background pages because of that texture paste. And I made it so it was just, I don't know, I feel like it's enhanced there with the bird cage over it. Okay, there's an entire video on the Scrappy Boy stamps and this page that I made. Looking at the binding again, I'm still just using strips across, and I used this fish, this and the background here and the mermaid and these fish here all came out of a magazine. But here, the You're a Star, this is from that Be Creative Make and Take, where you have the adhesive foam and you lay the foil across, and the adhesive on the foam grabs the foil and gives the foam that shimmer. I also picked up these fun stickers while I was at the Scrapbook Expo, so they fit in perfect here. And when I made this background page, this is one of the background pages that it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite. But you can see it's a background page, so once I filled it with everything else, you can't really tell. But there is the little bit of, looks like mermaid scales at the top there. Those background pages just give it some movement rather than a flat colored background. Oh my goodness. Give me some cake right now. All right, if this doesn't make you want to have a cupcake, I don't know. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with Crazy Creations' little tag there. Well, I'm not a coffee drinker. And the fact that it was on that little piece of wood, I wasn't sure who I'd want to give it to. But you know what? It was light enough and it makes my art journal chunky. I love chunky art journals. The Hay Cupcake from Scrap That, New Jersey, that just fell right in line with the coffee and donuts. So they got to share the page, the colors matched. In order to help bind this page, I just grabbed brown paper that matched the coffee beans and the chocolate and the syrup. Grabbed some wrapping paper that I had. Threw in some quotes, and these cupcakes here, I got them over in the clearance section in Michael's. I think like the pack had broken up or whatever, and they were just scattered in the basket. So I just scooped them up, and I got a ton of them, probably for $1 or $2. This page surprised me. So here we've got the purple and the black. Don't be afraid of black. I was actually frustrated that this background page was more of a gray and not a true black. So I grabbed a stencil and I started with some stamp ink. And it was only putting a shadow there. It still wasn't a deep, rich black that I was looking for. So then, without moving the stencil, I grabbed some black acrylic paint and painted over the stencil. And it just created this wonderful, almost blending ombre, maybe an ombre of dark black to the grays, mixing in with the rest of that splatter effect on that black paper. Also finally got to play with the tons layered stencils. Look at the effect this made. Look how gorgeous. I'm going to lift this up. And these leaves too, which created this wonderful framed picture for this page. That's also the ton, where you layer the stencils and use different shades of stamping ink. And then if you're smart and you get the die cuts that go along with those stencils, then you can just run it through the die cutting machine and cut them out. I really love this page. I love how it's framed out. I stayed with the botanical nature. I really love these keep it simple vintage pickup truck and lumberjack guy and the bears. And if you have seen my December binding video, you remember I put the one that looks like Jerry on the cover of the December journal. This was the leftover guy, gave him a buddy. And I had some ribbon, and I did this on purpose. I didn't want it to be boom, 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 just the same all the way down. So I tucked this ribbon under the purple, sat that little bunny rabbit over it just to make it quirky. Found a quote, did a little bit of kind of junk journaling in the background here, carried over the purple over to this side. You might not even notice it, but it helped to balance out the purple. I love this page. And when I got to the back page, it was like, what do I want to do on the back and how am I going to finish the binding? This was unplanned. This was intuitive, came to me as part of the process. I used the back cover from the Mega Make and Take Extravaganza booklet. And since I had leftover paper from the Hill Street Stamps Make and Take, I cut it out on a flowered die cut using some solid dark green and light green to kind of mimic what was on the back of the Expo booklet. And even though these internal connections here are binding the booklet, right? That's binding it. This is binding. You'll even notice this one here doesn't really bind at the top, but the booklet was holding its own. It was staying together. But I decided, since I had to cut the Expo booklet down to size, that I had some strips left over. So I created that outer binding, and I love that you can see the exposed binding of the other pages in between the spaces. I love my me time in the studio, but having developed this journaling club with Nathalie, I get to experience a different energy. And with this most recent visit, we had a third person. She's camera shy, so there's no footage of her. But the three of us working together with some sing-along type music playing in the background, we found ourselves singing out loud, doing our work, laughing, having a good time, and it was such great energy.
Somebody to lean on. Not calling me brother yet.
I know for a fact I would not have gotten as much done in this book if it wasn't for Journaling Club. There's nothing like being in a safe environment around friends to be able to work on a shared hobby. So if you have a project that's just sitting, maybe you're a little stuck on it, try and look at it from a new perspective. Don't be afraid to change your mind and try something new. You might be surprised. pleasantly surprised. Laugh at life, guys. Laugh a lot. See you soon.